Have you ever woke up in the morning and you try to start your day off with gratitude? You look around and you're grateful for everything that you have. I know for me, when I look at my little puppy in the morning, like it brings gratitude to me. But as soon as you do all that, still there's those negative thoughts. There's those weeds in the brain where it still wants to override all the positive you're trying to put in right in first thing in the morning so your day goes right. But the negative is so strong that it becomes overwhelming in a way. So what I mean by that is, like, as soon as I leave the house and I get into traffic, it's frustrating. Let's just be honest. Sometimes traffic is frustrating. And as soon as I get to work, I got problems coming to me left and right that I don't want to deal with first thing. Like, I want to breathe. I want to get control over my morning. I want to get control over my day. A lot of things that I really feel like I don't want to deal with at that moment, I have to. And next thing I know, I'm also getting a phone call from a family member that there's a problem going on. And it's like, when is it going to stop? Right. And it's easy to get into that victim mode, that woes me, like, why is this happening to me? But what you have to remember is, and this is the thing I had to learn, and I hope this helps you guys out a lot, because as much as you're wanting to look at, okay, things are going bad, but what can I be grateful for now? And as much as that helps, sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes looking around and being like, I'm thankful for the job I have. I'm thankful for the family I have. Like, it solves that feeling in the moment, but it doesn't necessarily resolve all the issues of the day. I started doing something different, and it has completely changed how I look at every situation, especially the negative ones. I say to myself, why is this happening to me right now, and what am I supposed to learn from this? Because I look at life with there's a reason for everything. Like, I don't believe there's really accidents. I believe that everything that happens in our life is meant to have a purpose. Whether you believe that or not, every situation you can learn from. And when things are going bad and things are going wrong, that's where we develop the most, right? How we handle those difficult situations, how you handle adversity really shows how you're going to progress in the identity of the person that you are. We hear from sports figures all the time where it was the overcoming of adversity is how they got to be where they are. Those difficult situations, how they manage those situations, how they express their mental toughness went a really long way. So today is something that was really challenging because it was just all coming at me first thing in the morning, and I did not know how to handle it. I really didn't. As much as I go through every situation and I take a deep breath and I try to meditate and I try to have gratitude for everything. I mean, let's be honest, like, sometimes things can get overwhelming. We're human. And I don't want to be one of those people like, I got it all figured out, which that's not the truth. I'm still trying to figure things out. But what I'm glad I'm figuring out is how I look and approach each situation. So when things are difficult, I say, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to learn about myself that I can improve my identity based on how I handle this current situation? Instead of getting all frustrated and throwing my hands up in the air and saying whatever and giving up, or, just pointing the finger at all the reasons it's happening, what can I take from it? What can I do to improve myself? What lesson can I learn about how I'm even managing my thoughts in this very moment? How I'm going to, what the next move I'm going to make is? How can I make sure that I am taking the lesson that is being presented to me in such a difficult situation and make sure that it's something I carry with me from this point forward? So that the next time something like this happens, I have a better handle on it. I know exactly how to approach it. And I've learned about myself how to manage the emotional intelligence, not allowing my emotions to get the best of me. When you have handle over your emotions, when you have control over your emotions, you will start seeing yourself in a mature aspect of your life where things don't impact you as much. The things that bothered you before don't tend to really phase you anymore. And as much as you're a human being and there's going to be some sort of emotion, what do you do with that emotion? Do you allow it to drive you, or do you use that emotion to drive you to actually say, okay, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, but what does this mean? and what can I learn? And if you take a situation that's difficult and you find a lesson from it, you will not have bad things anymore. You will not have bad situations. You will not have things that go wrong, right? I know, like, I'm in sales. Sometimes we'll say, oh, that was a really bad call. It's not a bad call if you learn something from it. You'll never have a bad call again if you have that mindset of, okay, that didn't go the way I wanted. What can I learn from this? How could I have managed that person a little bit better? How could I have controlled my emotions? How could I have better served them on the phone? What energy was I in? Was I coming from a place of help, or was I desperate to get money? When you ask yourself those questions, there's a professional maturity that starts to evolve, and your identity becomes a lot stronger in faith, mental toughness, and a higher level of emotional intelligence, and that's where leaders are born. That's how you know that you're progressing and developing to become an identity of someone that can handle much bigger things. Because if you have something that you desire and there's something that you want to achieve, you're not going to be able to achieve it if you still have a limited mindset. If you allow your emotions to take over, if you go from 0 to 1,000 with your anger and frustration and you start taking it out of other people, look inner. Look at you first. What could I do in this moment to better myself so I am a stronger person and a stronger identity to achieve the next thing in my life that I want to accomplish, right? You're always looking to move up. Well, if you're looking to move up with the things that you want to accomplish and the things that you desire, you have to be the identity of the person that can move to those things. You can't do that with the same mindset that is allowing emotions to take over and controlling your day. As hard as it is, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's very difficult. It's easier to just point fingers and blame other things and take the blame off of you. But you got to look at yourself and say, how can I manage this situation better? What can I do in this moment to change this outcome? And it's almost, when you do that, you get a really good feeling of, okay, I accomplished something. I feel good about this. You know, it's a bit of a dopamine hit, because now it's like, okay, cool. Like, I know how to handle this. The next challenge that comes up, let me look for what lesson I can learn from there. And you just keep growing and developing. And it's actually a really good feeling. Real quick, I just want to share a message with you. There's a verse in the Bible that really stands out to me. So it's Philippians 4, 6 through 8. So be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth through all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds in Christ. Don't worry about the things. Have faith that God is going to have your back. Have faith that even the lessons that you are going through, the tribulations, the trials, the adversity that you have to deal with, the challenges, they are there for a reason. Because if God didn't love you, He wouldn't try to challenge you so you can become better. He doesn't want you to stay mediocre. He doesn't want you to stay the same person. And the only reason we stay in the same spot is because we're not being challenged to take a next step, right? I mean, parents have to, teach their kids lessons. They have to ground them. They have to make sure that they teach the children the lessons that are needed, so life doesn't have to teach it for them, because parents love their children. They don't discipline them because they want to. They discipline them because they love to, or because they love them, not love to, because they love them. Because if they didn't love their children, if parents don't love their children, they would just let them get away with whatever they wanted. And that's not helping them. That doesn't make them grow. And when you look at it from that point of view, you appreciate what God does in your life. You appreciate the challenges that come. Because those challenges, if you look at every challenge you've ever had, the adversity that you've had to overcome, they have made you stronger, and they have put you on a path towards something that you truly will be ready for, that you desire. Because God will battle test you to make sure you're ready. If you're not ready and He just gives it to you, you're going to fail. You're not going to have success. He does it because He's a loving God. So don't worry about anything. Have faith that He's got your back. But always ask yourself, in those trials and tribulations, those times where you have to have a challenge that you have to overcome, what am I supposed to learn, and how can I manage this better? And I promise you, it'll go a lot differently. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.